Well, hello, everybody. As you can tell, I am not the witch, but I am bringing you the witches out right now. I just got to push some buttons. Let's see our beautiful witches. And by the way, be ready. They are gorgeous. And here they are.
Hello, everybody.
Howdy,
Hey guys.
how are you?
I'm
Welcome to the
fantastic.
chat. Michelle is already in the chat.
Hi, Michelle.
And she says she shared us out. Thank you, Michelle. Which reminds me, everybody needs to hit the thumbs up button and the notification button when you subscribe. So, yes, please do that. And we are also live on Yerg's Radio. You can listen at yergsradio.com if you can't watch, and on Rainbow Radio. So we are live on the internet. We're everywhere. So I got you. I am pimping you ladies out.
Okay.
We're
On that
everywhere.
note, we're everywhere. Like Jesus
You're
and
everywhere.
germs. Happy Halloween, everybody.
Yeah.
Halloween.
Happy Halloween, the whole show. This is our Halloween show. We hope you enjoy it. Talking about everything Halloween and how it derived and came to be.
Yes, how it is what we know it as today is just, it's not what it was originally. We took a little bits and pieces here and there and kind of made it our own thing, but I'm very excited to talk about it if you can't tell. Um, Yes, I do love Halloween more than Christmas. I am that person, and I have no shame whatsoever in saying that. Welcome to Two Broke Witches Halloween special.
We're excited to be here. Hope you chat along with us. Let us know your thoughts.
Yes, happy Halloween to everyone.
I'm trying to see how it let me see the. Oh, there we go. This computer's being so weird tonight. Like it's hiding things from me. Abso-friggin-lutely. That's exactly what it sounds like in my head.
24/7.
Okay. Hello to everybody just joining us. And yes, I have another coffee cup. All of them are always going to be themed scary, spooky, weird. If you have any ones that you don't want to keep secret and gatekeep, please let me know where you find your cool cups at.
I
I may or may
usually
not have
find
a
mine at
problem.
like Ross or TJ Maxx. They have some really good ones.
Usually I try to like do a lot of the local pottery kind of places and support
Ooh,
them.
yeah.
Tonight, I think it's a Disney theme. I've got Hocus Pocus and Haunted Mansion on standby. So,
Nice. I love Haunted
yeah.
Mansion.
Me too. It's my favorite ride. So,
When Kurt was 3, we just kept going in a circle, going back on it and back on it.
actually, it almost traumatized my child the first time we went. She was really, really little, and it broke down when we were on it, and it broke down right when you start into the cemetery where it's super loud and like the ghosts are popping up out of the tombs and stuff.
Yes.
All you hear is her start screaming, "Get me out of here!" And I felt like the worst parent. I'm over here just cheesing and grinning, and she's like tears are streaming down her face, and I was like, "This is
Oh
a
my
parent fail
goodness.
right here." But
Oh,
yeah,
how old
yeah,
was she?
4, 3.
Oh,
Like she was little. So yeah, it was fun was had by all later with
I
her
bet
coming
she
back.
loves it now.
She does now. She almost doesn't remember that. It's just me. Maybe I'm traumatized from it at this point. I don't.
Right.
Maybe.
It wasn't so
So
traumatizing that she wouldn't ever ride it again.
no, absolutely not. We're Disney nerds in this family. We do all those things.
Oh, yeah.
So just gonna let a few more people hop on who might want to be a part of our chat because I am going to be opening it up to asking some of you guys feedback about maybe traditions that you have for this holiday or things that you did growing up. Maybe you don't do anymore. I fully support adults participating in this holiday hardcore. Like, forever be a kid. I think that's the best way to do things. So, yeah. Like, if we could trick or treat and they could give us little shots in a bag or something. Like, I went to a party and one of my friends had taken little shot bottles and made them little ghosts with just like a tissue and like put
Oh,
little eyes on them. It was so cute. I was like, I would go door to door for this, but
yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
might be frowned upon for the alcohol, but
Very
Just
well.
little bottles. You can just break open a little bottle and drink it while you walk with your kid. That would be great.
Oh, yeah. Parenting tips 101, guys. You heard it here first. Yep. Yeah. So, okay. I'm going to start with one of my favorite. I love this quote. I could not find the author of this quote either. Like I looked online all day, could not find one. It just says unknown. It says, when witches go riding and black cats are seen, the moon laughs and whispers, 'tis near Halloween. Cackle.
I love that one.
Yeah. So, okay. Hello, class. Does anybody know? Okay, so Amanda already knows. She can't be first in this. Where Halloween actually came from, like its actual origins. It is a old ancient holiday festival. I saw it's a lot of hearts. My screen just like did this weird flicker thing. What is happening? So it is a Celtic festival. Was not called Halloween. It was called Samhain. I forever called it Samhain. Like a long time till I finally figured out that's not what it's called, because History Channel schooled me on that one day, and I was like, oh no, I've been pronouncing it. Like, I think I was watching a Buffy episode and I heard them say it on there like that, and then I was like, oh my god, Buffy was wrong. Like, it almost broke my heart.
No,
So
couldn't be wrong.
no, because that's my go-to. It was started in Ireland. They actually, the last couple of years, I think they've actually brought back this festival right on the original grounds where the first ones were held, with the bonfires and all that kind of stuff, and the ancient rocks and all those things. And it was originally for a marking of the end of summer and the beginning of seasons. So wintertime, things getting darker, less light. So it was just a celebration. We've gotten our harvest in now, and we can kind of chill out and relax. And if you guys don't know, I typically follow the Celtic calendar, which is what our Gregorian calendar and stuff is based on, kind of where they took it from. So when you hear me say the Celtic calendar, feel free to look this up. It's based on, I believe, 4 major holidays for the seasons. Then you have the equinoxes and solstices and stuff like that. My brain's dead still. I haven't still recovered from any of my October stuff yet. So, does anybody know what the original jack-o'-lantern was?
Gwen knows.
Yes, the great and powerful Oz behind the curtain. What do we have?
Wasn't it a turnip?
Yes, it was. Have you ever seen a turnip that's carved into a jack-o'-lantern face?
I actually did a short on this, and I put some in the short, and it is horrifying.
They're literally
my
terrifying. Like, they look like the creepiest come to life, eat your face off thing. I don't know why we let that go. I don't know. Maybe next year I'll do a turnip instead of a pumpkin. But
Right? If it's scary.
I should have had a picture to throw up there, but they're like creepy. Yeah. Still to this day, that blows my mind. I grew up with pumpkins, and I'm like, oh, it's a tiny little turnip, but it looks like something that would come alive in a horror movie, and like make it chain on top of each other and go in there and like, stab you in your sleep.
Like Krampus with the gingerbread man.
Oh my god, yes. Yes. Just like that. So not only was this a holiday where they celebrated the fall turning into winter and all that kind of stuff, but it was also the night they believe the spirits of the dead returned to the earth, and that the boundary between the worlds, between the living and the dead and other planes, was blurred, which is kind of where we get the thinning of the veil from. And I'm going to go into detail more about that, because everybody's like, what is the veil? I don't understand. Is this like some imaginary thing? It's not imaginary. It's just not everybody can see it. So only, a few people understand that it's not make believe.
Just kind of the in between.
And so, can you tell when it gets this time of year? Do you get like all the tinglies and stuff, and do things
Oh
happen
yeah,
a lot easier for you?
yeah, yeah. Just
There
like
it is.
oh, there we go. Yes.
Look at that
Um,
thing.
like when I heard the breathing in the woods the other day, I instantly turned on my video and never could find what was breathing in the woods.
Yeah. I still have mixed feelings about going to your property. You keep telling me all this stuff, and I'm like, Bigfoot's gonna like get my ass or something. It's gonna be, I don't know. That'll be the way I go. What is the veil? So the veil, essentially, it's a boundary. It is a boundary between the world of the living and the world of the past, and also into different dimensions, as far as I'm concerned. That it's just a boundary. Um, the tween is scary. Oh, there has been a puzzle. Ooh, wait a minute. I just read that one. If Jesus was a zombie or a ghost. I've actually heard that before, like a long time ago. I remember I fell into the rabbit hole of YouTube as it is. Well, I guess that depends on your religious belief, doesn't it? A lot of people think he was just a man who just came back from the dead. And, I really would like to see a cosplay of Zombie Jesus, though. Now that you've mentioned this, I feel like that might almost be worth sharing.
Oh,
So if
yeah.
you feel need to do this, please send us a picture, anybody out there, because I won't do it, but yeah, I will totally encourage someone else to. What is the boundary made of? So I think for me, the way that I've seen it myself, it is a energetic boundary. Now, who put it there? Where'd it come from? What is? I don't know. That answer I do not have. If someone else does, that'd be fantastic to hear. We work in a world that is not concrete. Not all of it can be proven scientifically. A lot of it can energetically through those kind of ways. But I really do think it's an energy force. It is something there before the known. As mystic as that sounds, that's really kind of what it is. No, I don't think it is static energy. If it was static energy, I don't feel like we'd be able to accomplish the transition phases that we needed to do. I do feel like it is a living, breathing type of energy that does happen, that for some reason it picks and chooses who it lets through. I don't know if it's based on the life of that spirit, or I don't know what the circumstances are, but it does seem that it is a pick and choose kind of thing. But no, I don't believe it's static. I saw
feel like
Jesus at the
it's
coffee shop.
I
Me
feel
too,
like
after my third cup.
when you walk into a room and maybe you feel like you're being watched, it's like you just stepped into another world. It's hard. Yeah.
That's why I don't think it's static, because it's movable. If you are somebody who works in that area of metaphysics, who deals in, I don't know, energy work, period, and you work with spirit, that is something that you can actually go through, come back through, mess around with, increase the boundary sometimes. I've never actually said that out loud, but yes, I have increased the boundary, or not made a tear, but made it a little more permeable for certain things to come through, which is kind of what I feel. And I'll probably get yelled at for some people, but I think that channeling sometimes does this, allows us to be the in between. We actually become sort of part of the veil, if you will, or we reach through it and they're allowed to use us to come through. So, oh man.
Oh my
I don't
gosh.
know. See, I also wonder, do spirits watch this all happen? Do we have a whole bunch of peeping toms all the time? We just don't know.
Right? And I wonder that because my dad always said this is heaven. We're in heaven now, and we're surrounded by the spirits here on earth, and this is where they are.
My child just scared
Oh
the
my
crap out of me. I forgot she's coming home from practice, and I was like, oh, there's a real human in my house right now. So the portals are doors, and anything you exactly.
We had a guest on my Wednesday show that said she did an investigation at a Old West house of ill repute, and that the prostitutes were still there and working, and were upset when she came in because she was messing with their business. So I don't know.
I've been yelled at before for that. Absolutely, in Lexington, actually, at the Carnegie Library.
Oh gosh.
Mm-hmm. They had a whole bunch of language. I was running off their customers. I was looking at things that I hadn't paid for, essentially. So,
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
and me not wanting to interfere with a woman's business. Yeah, I was like, all right, we're gonna move on now. Yes, this does feel like payback sometimes, but I think she already got me back as a child with the creepy bedside things that kids do. So yeah, no, I'm out.
You just open your eyes and they're right in your face.
It's not good. So, some of the things. Okay, so we talked about the jack-o'-lantern. Do y'all know what the jack-o'-lantern's supposed to do? Like when we carve pumpkins, what their whole purpose is? Anybody? Bueller.
Bueller.
You don't know? I thought you would totally know this. Okay, so yeah.
To scare away spirits?
Yes. Yes, it is. Although I think the turnip does a better job in my opinion. So it's actually jack-o'-lanterns were based on a legend about a guy named Stingy Jack. Is from I a whole bunch of resources I found about this. Stingy Jack, who repeatedly trapped the devil and only let him go on the condition that Jack would never go to hell. But lo and behold, when Jack died, he learned that heaven did not want his soul either. Oh, yeah, how scary. So he was forced to wander the earth as a ghost for all eternity, and the devil gave Jack a burning lump of coal and a carved out turnip to light his way. Eventually, locals began carving scary faces into their own turnips to frighten evil spirits away. So
that's also why people started dressing up in costumes, was to scare the spirits away.
Yes. It was actually disguises, is what they called them. It was to confuse them to think that they were not who they were. So, yeah. Again, I'm going back
to know, have either of you seen the book of Zolar's Book of Secrets? Whatever that is.
Yes, the Book of Secrets. I've seen that.
My answer is no. I have not. So now I have homework. Zolar's Book of Secrets. So, Amanda, what is that?
Yeah, don't let Wendell stump you, please.
You can actually find it on Amazon. I only know because he had mentioned it on here before.
First of all, who's Zolar? Or is this a person, or is this a something?
It's a person, I believe. Zolar's Book of Secrets. It also has like the Encyclopedia Dictionary of Dreams.
Yeah, I used that when I first started doing stuff like this when I was younger.
Mm-hmm. So that's Zolar as well. So it's like
okay,
different books. Yeah, it's a whole bunch of books.
Okay, learned something new today.
That's how I knew about it, was he had mentioned it on here before.
Are you reading that too?
Yeah.
I guess that's just an advertisement for book burning.
Well, I don't condone that whatsoever.
No books should be burned.
Institution, yeah.
I think somebody tried to do that once upon a time. It didn't end well for him.
Nope.
Halloween, that's what we're chatting about.
We are talking about Halloween and all its shapes, forms, and or sizes that it comes in nowadays, and kind of where it started from. Irish, Celtic, pagan holiday, October 31st. And basically this holiday was to celebrate the change and transition from fall into winter, and to also celebrate the time of year that it is easier for the dead to come back to us. The veil, the boundary between the worlds and the living and the dead, and how it thins out. And they were different ways for them to protect themselves. We have costumes, which we do now for fun, but those were disguises. As you will notice, this fine witch over here. You have the pumpkin jack-o'-lantern, which was originally the scariest vegetable now on the planet, the turnip. If you missed it, feel free to Google why we'll never probably have one in the house. And yeah, so the actual original name for the holiday was Samhain, spelled Samhain for all of us who mispronounced it for however many years. So let's see. Man, then you get into like when the Catholic Church got involved and changed the name and all those things. Yeah, she's pretty hot. I'm not gonna lie. She is. So then you have All Saints Day, which this is actually what came around in the 18th century. So 1700s, we have Pope Gregory III designated November 1st. They never do it the exact same day. It's like another slap in the face of the traditions. Yes, that rubs me raw a little bit. But he changed it to All Saints Day to honor the saints. They did incorporate some of the traditions. The evening before All Saints Day was known as All Hallows Eve. But again, it was bringing attention back to the church, getting away from anything that would bring us out to a field with a bonfire and a good time, right? So I've never actually participated in any like All Saints Days. We do have some beautiful Catholic churches and stuff here where I live at. I know they've done events before. I would be interested to see what they do. If anybody out there is Catholic, if you do want to enlighten us as to like, well, how do you guys like celebrate that? Is it just like the parade through the streets kind of thing where they had, you know, the statues and things of the saints, or how does that come about in real life?
Yeah, I've never participated in anything like that.
Yeah, I
I've
haven't
done
either. I would
Dia
love
de
to.
los Muertos.
That's one of my next topics because that's one of my favorites.
Now, I have participated in an event for that. I did Dinner with the Dead in a cemetery.
Okay. Yes. How'd that go?
It was so much fun. They had a hunt, and you had to go around, and you had to use paper to read different tombstones, headstones, because they were so old you couldn't actually read them. So you had to try to do the hunt by rubbing over with a pencil on the headstone to try to find answers and everything.
I love that.
It was fun.
I actually think that Dia de los Muertos, I like that better than the way that we do our Remembrance Day and our Memorial Day. Now, I'm not knocking our holiday whatsoever. It's important because a lot of times it does have to do with our military. And I come from a family of people who have served. So yes, 100%. But the way that they remember their family members, it's like they're still there. I know a lot of you have probably seen Coco, and I really do love that movie because it really does make it easy to kind of explain. This is going to be a Disney thing for me tonight. But yeah, the way they use the pictures, the colors, the flowers, like, let's bring their foods here. Let's do this. Let's share the stories. And I do like the idea of going and sitting in a cemetery or a graveyard and not just being sad about it, but literally just having a remembrance moment. It's fun.
Yeah.
Like they're still there with you. You know, you crack open their favorite drink. Well, my soul's in a lot of different pieces, so you'll have to settle for a very tiny shard. Just so you know, it's like a Horcrux.
I'm a redhead. I have no soul. Every freckle is a soul I've taken. Come on.
Oh,
Oh my God.
so creepy.
That's food for thought. Which is a Waverly Place.
I think I watched it a couple of times, but I wasn't a huge fan or anything of it.
It's a cute show. I've watched it
Yeah,
a few times. I think my sister really watched it a lot when she was growing up.
yeah.
But it is cute. Yes, death is
I was
supposed to
a
be a
little old
celebration.
for it. Yeah.
Um, so that's one of the things I'm really excited about when I go to New Orleans is to see if I can participate in one of those, the marches, the processions, because
Yes.
that is the celebration of life during a funeral. I love that too. I'm gonna look, if I don't have something like this going on, like whenever that time comes for me, I'm gonna be extremely upset. I will have a list. I'm letting my family and friends know now there's a list if you don't do these things.
Yes. You will come back and haunt them.
Well, it'll be very interesting. We'll just put it that way. It will not be a Casper moment. I'm going to tell you right now.
Oh no.
No.
I definitely want a celebration of life. I don't want a funeral.
I think it's important to talk about stuff like that, like before it's to the time where we're all down and it's so hurtful and it's hard to do.
Right.
People get weird about it. We're from the South. There's a lot of things you don't talk about. You don't talk about politics and religion at the table. You don't talk about money.
Nope.
You sure don't talk about, hey, when I kick the bucket, here's my list of stuff to do, man.
I have it on my laptop.
I saw a planner the other day that said, guess what? It's your problem now. The guide
Yes.
to, I
I
was like,
yes.
oh
I
my
love that. I want one of those. Yes.
Oh, do you? Christmas gifts ideas. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. I think they have them
Um,
on Temu. I think it's where I saw it.
that's where I saw it.
Yeah.
I have a dedicated family member to come clear my search history and my internet history. So.
Yeah.
That's the best friend's job. Like, you better delete the group chat. You better delete photos. Like, all the things better be gone.
Yep.
Yes. Just take my
Uh,
phone to this person and they'll
or
take care of
just
it.
run over my phone with a semi truck a few times. You know what? Just let it be. It's
No
fine.
evidence.
No, more like Beetlejuice. I got you, bestie. That's either my sister or my legit best friend. So I'm gonna go out on a limb for that one.
Well, the Facebook
It is-
user can come over and find us on YouTube at the Paranormal Guys with a Z, or search the show out, or the Sport Cat shows. They can come over and follow, share, and subscribe. Shout out to Bobby. He is here.
Must be the season of the witch. I love that song. Come to the dark side, sir.
We are the dark side.
Well, it depends. I have a Star Wars tattoo. I am not the Sith. I will tell you that. That is not the symbol tattooed on my leg. Okay. So, black cats. The whole thing with witches and their familiars. It just so happens that I have a black cat on purpose, ish, sort of. So even now, there's still a whole lot of stigmatisms around things with black cats, and they're still considered sometimes the bad luck thing, which I will never understand. But they were considered to be a symbol of the devil. It also didn't hurt that the people who were accused of witchcraft later on in the trials, not just in Salem, but all over the world, when the Inquisition and some other stuff was happening, a lot of those people had cats. Well, okay, like that's, I don't understand. Just because one whole group of people has one fluffy butt critter who can keep your house rodent free in your barns and stuff, and you have to think these people lived in rural areas, first of all. Like, yes, I'm going to keep a predator around that's going to be good for me. I did say stigmatism. Ha ha ha. Blonde. It's loud tonight. I do have astigmatism, but that's where they got the idea that cats were witches' familiars is because people who were accused of being witches were having these things happen. And they just so happen to have that cat. So anybody else have a black cat? Anybody else got like a familiar?
I used to. Now I have 2 white dogs.
Yeah.
I'm just going to point it
My
out.
son's allergic to cats.
I used to be. I don't really know what happened.
And you've got a new fan.
Oh, thank you.
Hey, Salty,
Being on my-
welcome.
Greg needs a doctor because of why?
That astigmatism.
Yeah.
That's what I do other than this, Greg. I do glasses.
Witches
some
turn into
glasses?
bunny rabbits. There are several forms that witches were supposedly allowed to turn into or become. So, yeah, I don't think a rabbit would be one of the ones I'm going to take, though. Mm-mm.
Pretty fast.
Yeah, but so is all the other stuff they do, too. And who wants that?
Oh,
Like-
yeah, that's true. I don't
No.
want to have that many babies.
No. That's a no for me. God. I'm the worst. But yeah, so bonfires also a big thing. That was actually one of the biggest things they would do at these kind of festivals originally. We still got over here, Glenn's dying. He's still laughing about it. Does the rabbit thing get you?
I was going to play a sound effect, but I don't know if it's appropriate or not, but I'm just
Oh,
going
you
to.
have to.
And he pulls out.
Football, of course. It's football play announcer.
Sports. Yeah. Okay. Where was I going with this? My brain went somewhere else for a while.
Greg said I can read Chase Thought Clouds.
I'm going to pre-apologize if that's true because, yeah,
Big bubbles.
sometimes my inside voices come out loud. It's usually not a good thing. But, yep.
I love it.
So you have the bonfires, which is why who doesn't actually this time of year, who doesn't go, yes, let's have a big ass fire, put some chairs down, have some friends come around and, just hang out and enjoy the night and the weather.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're really
Yeah.
not that different.
We have 2 ready to light right now.
I'm not going to lie. I'm one of those people who will sit there and just throw stuff in there to see how it burns. Like,
Yes.
like
Will it
anything
pop?
I could find.
Like-
Yeah. Like, does it melt? Does it change colors? Like,
Will the smoke
Her
be a
lithium
different color?
batteries in it, please. So
Oh, no.
I like my face. I don't want to do that.
Right?
No. But with the fires, which is one of the reasons that the church started to change a bunch of stuff, and I am going to say that the church, it was the Christian faith, the church, who did take these holidays and blended their own calendars around them and kind of changed them up a little bit to try and entice people who were living the pagan lifestyle, which was just not Christian, to basically join their side. So when I say that, I'm not being down on it at all. This is history. This is literally what happened. So there were sacrifices made because yes, they were serving different gods. They were serving, nature. They were worshiping what they knew and what they saw, which was the changing of seasons, the sun, the moon, the stars, the way the animals were, things that they had encountered, elementals and things like that. So there were sacrifices made. The goal, of course, was to ensure, hey, we're going to sacrifice this thing so that we'll have enough food to not starve to death and freeze to death in the winter. So it was for very base purposes of how their lives were. It wasn't usually just a big show and a big act. Now, some of the other holidays, too, that I'll eventually probably talk about, also do other things to kind of welcome in You already know what holiday I'm talking about. I can see it on your face. You already know, which is my second favorite Celtic holiday.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there was always a fire. Fire has been at the root of every celebration going back to the beginning of time that we know of. Also, again, they also thought the fire warded off evil spirits and that it would help the sun on its journey across the sky as the transition from light to dark as this time of year. They were really all about like protection. Like that was a huge thing for them spiritually. I don't think a lot of people think about that now too much until there's a reason to think about it.
Right. Until you're sitting here talking about it, it just passes by every year. We just dress up and get candy and hand out candy, and it's all about the kids.
Yeah. That's that scene in Hocus Pocus where he's like, everybody knows that the candy company has invented Halloween.
Yes.
It's not entirely wrong.
They've taken it over.
So trick-or-treating, oh my gosh, because this was a really cool fact that I did not know. The 1950s, yes, that's when everybody started doing the trick-or-treating a lot more. It did inspire the candy companies. So apparently, I wasn't there, obviously, but I guess this was the point where people started getting very particular about things being wrapped and prepackaged. I guess also I would assume that's when they started doing like the bomb shelters and stuff like that. So you would want to have things that would stay fresh for quite a while. I mean, I know doomsday preppers now that still prefer these kind of things. And it was a convenience thing. But I guess the 70s is when they said it got huge. Like it was a real big deal. I don't know. I've seen some of those costumes.
I think I'm older than you, Shay, but I remember when I was a kid, like we had to go through our candy and look for like razors, anything that had been opened or punctured, for drugs. It was real big when I was little. We had to go through every piece of candy after we went out and got it.
I mean, I still tell you to be like aware. Like I think it wasn't too many years ago that there was something that happened here where I live in Clark County. There was a piece of candy that had like a needle in it or something.
Oh my.
I'm like, why are people still doing this? Like, why? Why is this a thing? So
Wow.
yes, my mom every year still tells us, make sure you go through the candy and you check it. And
Yeah.
I'm like, at some points I'm like, that sounds dumb. But then I'm like, what if?
Yeah,
that's
crazy. It's still a thing.
It is still a thing. It's stupid. I'll never understand it. Do you know how old that candy corn is and when it was first made? You either love it or hate it. Do you like it?
If I just need something sweet and it's all there is, I'll eat it. But if I have a choice, I'll pick something else.
I love candy corn, like a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll sit there and eat it till I just about get sick. I don't like the pumpkins, the big pumpkin pieces, but
Yeah,
the
that's
chocolate
too
on the bottom of some of those, yeah.
much. Was it
Yes.
from the 50s, 40s,
Nope.
50s?
Nope.
Before
Really?
that.
It's way before that.
Really?
The
Oh,
1880s.
wow.
The
How?
1880s.
Oh, my goodness.
It was
Wow.
invented in Philadelphia, and it says sometimes credited, but that's the only information I could actually find. I tried to find out something different. 1898 is when it was actually like brought out to storefronts and stuff like that. It was originally called Chicken Feed, and they had a slogan, and it was something worth crowing for.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know. I was like, well, there's a lot of ways they could have took that.
Right?
I would not have gone down that path with it, but hey, I mean, it did something right. But I get it. It's for the harvest and all that. It's when it, was thought of. But
Right. Yeah.
and then the 50s is when it got popular for kids and stuff, and like for Halloween and all those kinds of things. This is just full of fun things you never knew.
I saw a funny video earlier today, and it was a corn on the cob, and it was getting ready to make love to this piece of candy, and they were going to make the candy corn.
I like that story better than just a factory pumping it out. I'm not gonna lie. Mm. I didn't know. It makes sense that if you stack it up, it really does look like an ear of corn. Like the
Yeah,
colors. That's
it
why it's
does.
colored like that.
Yep.
Yeah. It never dawned on me. I just handful at a time. I don't take my time and build something extravagant
Right.
with it. Sugar doesn't last that long around here. Not with a
No.
teenager.
Also interesting about corn, everything that grows in nature grows evenly. So corn, if you count it, it has an even number of kernels. Apples have an even number of seeds. Like everything grows evenly in nature.
I don't think I actually knew that.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm full of useless information, Shay.
I mean, there's a lot of things that yeah, okay. Now I'm gonna have to actually count. I'm gonna bust
Yeah.
open an ear cord.
I always thought that was interesting.
Okay. Let's see. I don't know. Where else do you want to go? What are things that you did that relate back to some of these traditions? Like anything that you did? Like I know fall festivals is one that a
Haunted
lot of
house.
people do.
We used to go through the haunted houses. It would be all of our teachers from our schools would get together. And we even have one at our elementary school because we used to have the partitions between the classrooms, not walls. So they would
Yeah.
open the partitions and you could walk all the way through, and each classroom was set up with something different. And I remember one of our counselors was like this big ogre once. It was fantastic. So they would all get together, and we always had so much fun doing that and going to the school fall festival. They don't do that anymore.
Some places do. There are some small schools that do some fall festivals.
Yeah.
I know a lot of the smaller communities, like rural communities, still do a bunch of stuff like that. My daughter's gone to some schools that have done fall festival stuff.
I wish they still did it here. I loved it.
The costumes. Let's just take a moment. This goes back to the turnip being a scary thing for me now. Those masks and stuff that they use, in the 40s, 50s, 60s, even some of the 70 things.
The sweat would build up
No,
on your
they
top
just
lip.
look creepy. It looks
They
like a straight up horror movie.
Yes, it does.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, I had a few costumes that we had the plastic mask that if you if you did something wrong, it would cut you. The plastic was super
Oh, yeah.
sharp.
I hated that condensation, though. My face would be soaked.
Yeah, it was gross, but I mean, that was one of my favorite costumes. It was just a cheap plastic vampire looking cape thing with the mask
Right?
but I that one really stuck out, and I think it glowed in the dark. I think the fangs on the front did.
Oh, nice.
So
I remember the boys coming over because we lived in this apartment building, and the boys in another apartment would put on the scary masks, and I would be sitting in the living room floor watching TV, and they would pop up at the front door because we would leave it open and just have the storm door closed, and they would pop up and try to scare me while I was watching TV.
God, yeah, my dad used to do stuff like that. Yeah, but he was also the same person that would be underneath your bed and you'd go to sleep, and he did one time, he reached out and grabbed my foot.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh. Why? How old were you?
I don't know. I just know that I remember him doing this, and he would scare us all the time with stuff like that. Or go tap on a window outside or something, outside your bedroom window, just because yes. Good God. Okay, so costume wise, what's one of your favorites ones that you've ever dressed up as? Adult or kid?
Costume. It was adult, and it was a Dia de los Muertos costume. I
Did you
had the
do like?
whole like face paint, the dress, everything.
Ooh,
It was great. What about you?
well, I asked the question. I don't even know the answer. That's really good.
Davy Crockett for me. Raccoon hat, everything.
Davy Crockett. That's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Were you a kid?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I thought it was gonna be like last year. This is
Yeah. What was
I think
it?
Michelle is wanting to know the names of the panel other than Shay. I'm not the panel, I'm just the button pusher, so
I'm
this is
Amanda.
Amanda.
Hey.
I think a gypsy costume, a
A
gypsy and a
gypsy.
vampire. We
Oh,
literally
nice.
just threw together. My mom always had this big tote full of just random stuff from costumes from like previous years and things. And
That's what I do.
I think we just went in and rummaged. It was a few of her belts from like the 80s and like some scarves and a whole bunch of other stuff put together. And then the adult costume would be the vampire one I did for a vampire ball in Los Angeles. That
Oh,
was
nice.
that
I
was
think
pretty
I
great.
saw pictures of that. I remember that.
Oh yes, I loved it.
Yeah.
Every second of it.
We did one year. We did. Abe was the big bad wolf, and I was Little Red Riding Hood. And then
I
another
like
year, he was Jason, and I was a camp counselor.
I like it when people do the reverse roles, like the guy dresses up.
Yes.
I've seen some really good ones, and I really wanted to do the filter no filter this year. Have you seen that costume?
Yes.
Yeah,
I love it.
I really like that one a lot. Um,
I also like where you dress up as each other. Have you seen those? Yeah,
yes, I
I love
have.
it.
Have you guys done that? Have you and Abe done that?
No, not yet.
I
We
guess
don't
we know our
usually have
costumes
anywhere to
pretty good.
dress up for.
Okay, well, we probably need to have a Halloween party next year.
Yeah, we should do that. We could have it out here and have a big bonfire.
Yes, yes, we could.
Yeah. Out in the creepy woods.
Cool. I have ideas. We could do an overnight investigation while we're out there. What could go
Yeah.
wrong?
I've only been pitched. I heard the breathing. Sasquatch is definitely out here somewhere pushing over all my trees. But seen people walk
Okay.
across the deck who aren't really there. And Abe is like, he's not into all this, and he even thought he saw me walk across the deck one night. I'm like,
Oh, it looks
nope.
like you?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I don't
And I
like
was
that
like,
when they
I was
look
like,
like that.
nope, I'm right here.
that doesn't sound like Sasquatch activity, so
There's another word for that one.
Mimic.
ET. They mimic voices, and they're good at that. But
There's something out here.
There's probably several things out there.
Could be. I don't know. I haven't had a chance to talk to the neighbor yet. I was thinking about waiting until you came out here. Yes, very flammable. Yes. There's no way kids would be allowed to wear that crap today.
I'm dressed
we
as
got
a speed bump one year. Does that count for anything? So
yeah, right. See? We would get boxes and poke holes in the sides and put our arms out through them and draw on them. And it's like, what are you? I'm a refrigerator.
And I think the last couple of years, though, I think probably since the whole COVID thing, I really do think people have started to participate a lot more in Halloween, like decoration wise. And I know the last couple of years, I've seen a lot more people actually start to give out candy again with the porch lights on. And
Oh, yeah.
yeah, like instead of just going to the downtown events, which are totally fun too, I liked going through the neighborhoods. Like I enjoyed seeing all the decorations, the people who you don't know if it's a real person or just a stuffed person on the porch
I
until you
used
grab a
to
piece of
do that.
candy. And yeah, like I enjoy the fact that people are getting into the holidays more, not just Halloween, but all the other ones too. But I
Yeah.
specifically like the fact that people are kind of going back to more of an older style.
Yeah.
It meant more, I think, than just,
Right.
I'm going to throw some candy here.
Yeah. I dressed up as a scarecrow one year and sat on the front porch in a chair, and I had myself stuffed with towels. So it looked like it was a scarecrow, and I had my face covered with a bandana so I could see through it barely, but I could see if someone was in front of me. And I kicked my legs out and put my arms, just sagging so I looked fake, and I had big boots. Even adults would come up and kick my feet and be like, "See, it's fake." And then the door was in front of me, so their backs would be to me as they were getting their candy, and I would stand up and be over the top of them when they turned around after getting
Oh
their
my
candy.
God.
I scared more adults than kids. And then one year, it was when Scream came out, and I got the costume, the Ghostface costume. Excuse me.
Bless you.
And I opened the garage door and had streamers coming down the garage door because of the garage scene, and had the strobe light going. And I moved just like Ghostface at the mall, like I had bought the Ghostface at the mall. And I had the candy sitting at my feet. So the kids had to come through the streamers and get the candy at my feet. And then I had a fake knife with fake blood on it. And when they would stand up from getting their candy, I would have the knife right over them. They would take. I lost all the streamers. I lost all the streamers. They ran right out and took streamers with them.
Oh my God. That's great.
I
That
love
does
Halloween.
that does make me wonder though, do you think that the rise of like slasher films and stuff has very much shaped the way that we here view Halloween?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Like
Definitely.
I mean, think of like the classic costumes that most people wear now to scare people. I mean, it is like the slasher movie people.
Yeah.
Jason.
Michael, Jason. Yeah. Freddy.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
Freddy.
love Freddy. Oh, Nightmare on Elm Street is one of my favorites.
Man, I watched that like a couple months ago for the first time in a really long time, and I was like, for some reason, I don't remember it being like this. Like I don't know. I think as younger, I was just freaked out because I think the thought of you have to sleep, you don't have a choice,
Right.
like you have nowhere to go.
Yeah.
Um,
Those were the scariest.
oh, Hellraiser scared the crap out of me.
Oh yeah.
Pinhead.
It didn't really scare me. I thought they were just trying to gross everybody out.
I
Like,
don't know what it
eh.
was about that. And Candyman.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I was in middle school, we would spend the night, us girls, and dare each other to go into the bathroom and say Candyman 3 times in the mirror. Yeah.
I never had to do that as a kid. They'd be like, let's do no. I immediately was like, y'all can go do that. I'm gonna head over here. Night. We're not doing that today.
Oh, and my friend, we would always spend the night with her, and she had this big old house here in town.
No. So it's a creepy location to begin with.
Yep.
Oh, no. Um,
Good times.
oh, I'm sitting here thinking about all the
The
all
great
the
movies.
things. Like, yes, I'm just like, man, there really are some that have like traumatized me that just, never leave.
We have over 1,000 horror movies. We have a horror movie closet. Actually, it's right here behind me. It's that closet right back there.
It's just full of just movies.
Horror movies.
Okay,
Over 1,000 horror movies.
that's actually pretty epic. So respect for that.
That's about all we watch. Once in a while, like right now, we're rewatching How I Met Your Mother. But other than that, we watch
Totally
horror
the same.
movies. Yeah, totally the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm partial to the original Universal monsters myself. I really
Mhm.
like to watch those this time of
Oh, yeah.
year.
Frankenstein and Wolfman. We watch Spenguli every Saturday night. All those
Oh,
old movies he plays. Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
Creature from the Black Lagoon,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
The Mummy.
Mhm.
Yes.
I love them. Anything Vincent Price, too.
His voice just,
It's
I,
creepy itself.
oh, I don't know what it's not just creepy, but it's like you can't not listen to it. Like you want to hear
Right.
what he has to say.
Yeah.
Yes.
Have you met his daughter, Victoria, at Scarefest?
Yes, I
Oh,
did.
she's so sweet. I
She
love
was
her.
extremely sweet. I loved her
Yes.
stories. When she was like, I remember being on set with dad, and I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. Yeah, she was precious.
When I first met her, I was like, I loved your dad.
Yeah.
How often
Who
she hears that.
who was the other guy? I posted a video the other day about him and I cannot think of his name. He was another huge actor in the scary horror film kind of industry. They
Boris
were almost
Karloff?
no, I cannot think of his name, and I'll kick myself later. But it was
His
them going
daughter
back and
was at
forth.
Scarefest, too.
Really?
Yes.
I must have
Mhm.
been reading. I forget half the people that are there. Loved Vincent Price.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think they were the most memorable out of some of the people I've met at Scarefest. I love them. Just, they were fantastic.
Just to hear the stories was enough for me to be like, well, my day is made. Things that I'll never be able to
Right?
accomplish. So
Yes. They're amazing. Just, if I were an actor, I would have loved to have worked with Vincent Price.
look at those evil Wicca priestesses. Where?
Where?
Which one? Where at? Where are you looking at? The what?
Is there something behind you in that picture show?
There's a bunch of bats. The things that ruin a good EVP session. Bats.
I'm watching this without pants on too, Guillermo.
I made sure to put pants on just in the event that I have to get up and leave, and I would forget. That's
This is a
straight
dress.
up. Straight up. I got some stretchy yoga pants on. That's great. Harlots. Ooh, look at that. That's a good that was probably a movie from the 70s if you think about it. It sounds exactly like something you'd watch at 2
Right.
a.m. on Chiller or something like that.
Oh, yeah. You did have like Dracula's daughters or Dracula's wives, or there were so
The
many
whole
Dracula
family.
movies.
The whole Dracula family has a movie about them. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what
Ouija
that made me think
boards.
of.
What are your thoughts on Ouija boards? Are they a
I
good
don't allow Ouija
conduit?
boards in my house.
That is a personal choice it's a choice of divination. There's a lot of different tools. They all do the same thing. So my thought is you should not be doing anything like that if you don't actually know what you're doing. There is a right and a wrong way for you
Yeah.
to open and close communication with the other side. Now, I don't care if you're using a Ouija board. I don't care if you're using a pendulum, dowsing rods, any kind of session that you're actually opening anything up for communication. You have to be very specific. You don't just go out there and say, anybody who wants to come on into my house tonight, feel free to come on down.
Right.
Absolutely not. You don't talk like that to anybody here. Why would you do that to the others? The other side, whatever it might be, you just said anything. I'm very specific when I'm doing that type of work. And I know a lot of people who use those things as communication during investigations or just in general. That's one of the biggest things. You have to be direct in who you're wanting to speak with, and you have to set boundaries. So I don't have a thought if they're good, bad. If that's your choice, great. If it works for you, great. Not every communication tool is going to work for each person. I used to use pendulums a lot for things. Now they don't work for me as well. dowsing rods, I know some people, they won't move forward to save their life. Even if they throw it on the ground, step on it, spin it around, it still won't do it. Some people touch it and immediately it's just like, yes, this is it. So it is a personal preference, and it is kind of what speaks to you. But the important thing is we don't just invite anything and everybody to come on down.
Yeah.
That's the
That's
biggest
why I
thing.
don't like Ouija boards in my house. I'm like, I don't think so.
Movies and stuff have really given a lot of things a bad spin.
Yeah.
When it really is because somebody just didn't know what the heck they were doing, and they literally said, anybody out there, anything out there want to talk? You're gonna get anything. You weren't
Yeah.
specific, man. So yeah,
Some of my favorite movies are the Conjuring movies. And, she made one with her friends, but he was already in that house. Like, they didn't bring him in.
Man, when I was in England, that was one of the biggest things. Every time we drove by, because I guess there were subdivisions and stuff, those houses all look the same. And there's a joke in my family that my name is Bill Wilkins. Like every time we drove by that house and we were on the train one time, and I started dying laughing. I was like, well, this is why I'm laughing, everybody. So yes, the Conjuring franchise is one of my favorites.
But it wasn't really him. He was being controlled.
Yeah. Again, this is why we don't just invite anybody and everybody and anything.
Yep. That's
How many movies do we have to watch, kids? Just
right.
How many? I tried dowsing rods this weekend and they spun in circles. There's a few reasons for that. It kind of depends on you and where you're at and what you were doing.
And
sounds like everybody was confused.
And if you programmed them. Mm-hmm. Speaking of, that was something I thought was kind of interesting. So somebody was asking earlier about the veil when we were talking about it. They equate it to kind of having to do with the changing of the seasons. Again, everything in life to me, the body, the way we work is all a cycle. It's all based on what happens around us impacts us. I mean, it's very clear with nature. We have like the moon and the ocean and all those kind of things. For this, they said, I read one person's idea was this is a time when the natural world seems to go back into the earth, creating more space for higher consciousness. You know how things hibernate. I thought that was interesting. Creating more space for a higher consciousness, which is you always hear when people are talking about energy and stuff, vibrating at a higher level or tuning in to a higher vibration. And this time of year, it's easier for a lot of people to do it, which is why everybody sees more things, feels more things. Then you have the whole other creepy factor, which all your other senses are already on high alert. So I think that has something to do with it too, because we're looking for creepy things to happen. So
this is about the time when we see the people walking across the deck and the doors that are almost impossible to open on their own and things like that. I heard the breathing in the woods just the other day. It was loud. I mean, it was like someone running.
I really do want to come out there. Like,
yeah, I'll be home all weekend.
Sounds like a Sunday trip.
Yep. We usually watch football out on the deck.
What if you turn around and literally there's like a Sasquatch just sitting there chilling? Like, y'all got any burgers? Like, he just walks up real slow.
That would be fantastic. I'd be like trying to get my phone. I gotta have a picture.
I have no idea
Can
what I would do.
Selfie with you?
Do you charge for that? Like, yeah.
Because he's not an Alabama fan. That's all I ask. So.
No Alabama for you. It's Wildcat country, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We do see a lot of deer, but then you go in the woods and you find dead deer, and so yeah, we have dead deer really close to our house, just right out by our wood pile. It's crazy out here.
Yeah. What were we doing the other day? Well, I went to the gorge this past weekend, and I
Oh,
was
fun.
kind of there's a lot of some of the trails and stuff because of where you're at. There's a lot of history out there. I mean, you're in the mountains. In this part of the world, there's a lot of different stories and histories and legends. But I heard clear as day. I thought it was my boyfriend. I thought he actually said, "Hey there," like right in my ear. And I said, "What is it?" He goes, "I didn't say anything." And I'm like, "All right, cool." And then he goes, "Oh yeah, there's I've been up here before. There's a spirit that I've talked with." And I'm like, "You didn't preface with that. You just kind of let it happen. Thank you." But I got a really, really cool photo that I haven't posted yet. And we weren't facing the sun, but and it's not like, oh, is that an orb? Because no offense, but yes, a lot of us who investigate, it's dust. I'm going to say it. I'm going to be the person nobody likes. You have dust. You have dust, or you have a flying critter in your picture. This is not, this is not like little. It's literally this large, huge, like almost in
Wow.
the middle of my photo, and it has like a prismatic sunbeam kind of effect on it, but it's just right around this huge circle. And I took that almost right after I said, "Did you say that?" So coincidence? I don't know, but it was a pretty cool moment. I've not caught anything like that on film there before, and I've been going to the gorge since I was little. Like I probably have a photo throughout all my stages of life of me sitting on the same rock on the same trail with my
Right.
family and stuff. But I don't know. It was really cool.
Yeah.
I'll have to show it to you.
Yeah,
I'll bring it on.
definitely. That's interesting. I'm anxious for you to come out and see what happens. Just
If I wasn't
go
doing
out.
trick or treating on Thursday, I would totally be like, let's do a quick live stream on Halloween night in the middle of your creepy woods.
Yeah. Yeah.
But there is another holiday that we could do that on. That's coming up soonish. So, and there's another
Yeah.
supermoon on the 15th, I think. So, opportunities.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just hate that everybody.
The 15th is on a Friday too. And I don't have anything that weekend either.
Would you like to set some stuff on fire and see what we can have happen while we walk around in the dark?
We can do that. It'll be really cold by then.
Yes. Actually,
Yeah.
I'd rather do stuff when it gets colder. I'm not a fan of being 120 degrees with 300% humidity here.
And I'm actually in the guest room tonight. You're always welcome to stay out here too. I know it's a little bit of a drive, and the fog is really cool in the mornings.
Oh, you got one of those views.
It's so thick, you can barely see the trees out back.
That's what she said. Anyways, I'm a child.
I do it too.
It's bad. Oh. Okay, so does anybody have anything they'd like to ask, talk about, bring up about your Halloween?
Is anyone dressing up this year?
Yes.
If so, what's your costume for the year? Or plans? What do you do for Halloween?
I said it too. We're all just literally still in high school. It's fine.
I went to my old high school on Sunday. They're closing it. They built a new high school, so we all went. Yeah, took pictures and everything. It was sad.
My daughter's actually going to school in my old high school. the way they've redistricted stuff around here. So
Yeah. We only have the
it's
one, so
weird.
Kurt had to go to mine.
We only have one now. We've always
Oh, yeah.
had one for a long time, but yeah, they've changed it up. But so every time I go in there, it's just like, and this hallway has this, and I'm like, we almost set a table on fire in there one time. Like it's yeah, it's
Oh,
fun.
goodness. I guess no one has Halloween plans this year.
Is
No
nobody
one's
going?
dressing up or
Well, a lot of the parties were done this past weekend,
oh yeah. Yeah.
because in the middle of the work week, it's really hard to get your spooky on sometimes.
Oh yeah.
Wait a minute, I saw a Squatch 2 weekends ago. I don't know, Facebook user. I don't know a name. Would you like to elaborate and tell us where this was at?
Facebook user?
I wish
I
it didn't
wasn't sure.
show up like
Hey, 50 Shades. We were asking everyone if they had Halloween plans, if they're dressing up for Halloween. If so, what are you dressing up as? I don't know if Facebook user is still with us.
ah, boo hiss.
Well, my doorbell will be going off 100 times, and the dogs will be going crazy with the kids. But I'll be
Yeah,
in
are you
class
handing out
online,
candy?
so the kids are.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I signed up for an online class, and they decided to start it Thursday night. I don't know why.
Yeah.
That is awful.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
That sucks.
No, like every year when I used to have to work like 12-hour shifts and stuff, every time Halloween would come around, everyone would be like, "We assume that you're asking for this day off." Like they wouldn't even. It was like an understanding. You're not coming in at 5 o'clock, right? I'm like, absolutely not. I'll be leaving at 2 o'clock to get everybody ready and prepared. um, oh, and I'm so. If you're handing out candy this year, thank you for participating. It does. You are helping make memories for somebody. I would like to throw that out there as my Hallmark moment.
And
Because
if you
it's
get
true.
older kids, just give them the candy. At least they're not out doing drugs.
If an adult shows up, just give it to
Give them
them.
candy. We're just trying to have fun. It's
Life
okay.
is hard. Life is complicated for all of us.
I just need a Snickers, man.
This candy has to go, so I stop stuffing my face.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we have that whole bag still, which is actually holding up my light because #broke. My light is leaning against this bag of candy we got from Scarefest, and we're just gonna get more, and it'll be here till Christmas. This happens every year.
I know. I didn't think about me buying the cauldron thing for the table, and I was like, dang, I was going to take that to Scarefest.
I got one and borrowed it from my friend, and guess who forgot to even get candy?
Oh, no.
Yes, it was bad. I felt like trash, but yeah. Let's
Next
see.
year, it'll be on.
Where's Waldo and candy for me?
I found Waldo once. I was at a music festival, and there he was in the crowd.
I don't think I've seen that costume in a long time.
It's been
Now
a
that I
long
think
time for
about
me,
it.
probably 9 years ago.
Stomping through my woods. Creatures spilled. Hey, that's cool.
That is cool. That's Facebook
40
user.
years. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hallmark moment. I've been in child care field for 20 years, director of a preschool. Always doing candy for the kiddos. Man, preschool. That's a rough age and fun.
Yeah.
And once you give them candy, it's that's like a wild pack of dogs. I hate
You have to send them home afterward. That's when it's
That
time
is
to
a
go home.
end of the day treat. Good night. Goodbye.
I used to teach preschool. I taught 3-year-olds Bible studies for a couple of years.
I
Then they
worked in a
moved me.
daycare.
That was 4-year-olds, and then they moved me to the 3-year-old class, and that's when I quit and said I would never have children. Yeah, I tell Kurt he's lucky to be here. I did not mean to have kids. That's why he's the only one. It's like, yeah, I'm not
Dang.
going through this again.
You heard that. Be grateful.
Yes, you're in college now. So I did it. I'm done.
Giving candy to those kids is like Glenn bringing matches to his fire.
Sometimes you're bored.
Let's just see what happens.
That's why we get Glenn solar powered gifts for his birthday.
Yes.
Okay. Preschool kids are the
Fireman,
best. They
yeah.
are all full of life.
This
Yes.
fireman will just burn stuff up. So yeah, it's probably best.
Oh,
They are so honest. Like they will tell you straight up, like, your hair is a mess today. Like
I like
why
to see
does
them
your face
celebrate
look like
holidays.
that? Like
My personal favorite. Wow, your stomach is so fluffy.
yeah, right. They're
They're
so
so squishy. Yes, that's your fault. Thank
Right.
you.
I got a good one for you. We used to, as firefighters, go to the schools and teach fire safety during October. And so we'd bring a group of kids out. And remember, I'm in Atlanta. And this little kid comes up to me. He says, "Hey, can you spray us down like they did back during the slave days?" And I'm like, "Go talk to the captain." I'm not answering his question.
Oh my gosh. That's crazy.
He's like, that's a captain question. I'm a rookie. Don't
What
ask.
did this kid just watch or see that's where it went? Like, I've got questions. So many
Yeah.
questions.
What are they watching at home? What? I don't even know.
Oh my God.
Yep. I was like,
I wouldn't even know what to say.
Yeah, my jaw would have just dropped. I would have no words.
Like,
Wow.
this one's for you, Cap. I don't know.
I had a kid fall asleep on me once, so I learned to say the alphabet backward. Like, I wasn't going to move the kid, and I had nothing else to do, so I just learned it backward while I sat there with the kid asleep on me.
Um,
It used to
well,
be a
there's a
DUI thing
skill.
the cops would ask.
What?
It was the skill that they used to ask for DUI. Start saying
Yes.
it backwards.
You know, they don't use that for a DUI anymore.
No, I can't
No.
get past Z, and I'm sober.
Ain't no way.
Yeah.
I'd have to go through the entire alphabet just to remember what the last letter was. Like,
Well, once you learn it, it just flows like ZYV, you know, you just sing it. ZYVWXU. Yeah. I can still say it. You just sing it. I mean, once you sit there with a kid asleep on you, you can just memorize it.
well, next time I'm in that predicament, I'll be sure to try and do that.
It was the only thing I really had to read. So
Okay, that's
it
fair.
just kinda...
Jeez. Oh,
Child raising adventures there, I guess.
Yeah. It was right in front of me on the wall, so there it was.
No.
he said no.
Kid would have been woke up. Get off me, little brat.
Well, I thought it may come in useful one day, but when I actually got pulled over and they smelled alcohol on my breath, they did not ask me to say it backward.
Okay.
So it was useless. But I wasn't drunk. I had one drink with dinner, but it was a margarita, so they could smell it. And also, when you have vertigo, you cannot
hold
stand
on.
on one foot.
Sorry.
What is happening? Was that a cat?
Oh Lord, he just stepped right up here. Yes. This is my cat.
It's just like this black blob in there. Oh, how cute. What's his name?
He does look like a mini werepanther. It's great. His name is Pepe. Actually, his full name is Senor Pepe Guillermo.
Nice. Oh, we
That's
have a
right.
Guillermo. Oh,
That was not him.
that was
a
Glenn.
gentle- That was Glenn. Yes. So this is my fur baby.
Oh,
Apparently, he wanted to say hello.
yes. Perfect timing.
It
We were
was.
just talking about you.
Yeah, he's a Persian, so he's got that really smushed flat face. I look angry all the time vibe. I love it.
Yes.
He's
Yeah.
my spirit animal.
Yeah.
He's bougie.
Did you have anything else on your list, Shay?
So the last thing basically was one of the most famous things where I got the title from this show, Something Wicked This Way Comes, Macbeth. So Halloween, witches, I found it appropriate. Did you know that they didn't actually start painting witches like green until the Wizard of Oz was a thing? Like everyone's like, witches are green and ugly, and I'm like, no, they're not. But yeah, so Wizard of Oz to thank for that. But it's super iconic, and also Wicked comes out soon. I'm super excited. But the thing about it is, this time of year, people equate darkness to evil, or darkness as being a bad thing. We're having it now. Time's going to we have the time change next weekend where it goes back an hour, which means it's going to be darker longer. I know everyone's like, I feel it.
Yeah.
I don't do well.
I don't either.
It makes you sleepy 24/7. It makes you just not want to get out of the bed in the morning.
I already have depression. It makes it worse.
Seasonal depression is a real thing. If people say no, that I no.
Yes, it is.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love my sunshine. Like, I hate the heat, but I will go out there and lay out like all day. So the thing was, what you have to remember is, even though things are dark, what can we learn from the dark? It's not a bad thing. You actually can't have light doesn't mean anything if there is not darkness for it to shine in. Which is kind of how I look at a lot of these things, like this holiday. It was about the changing of the seasons. We're celebrating this. This is a good thing. This isn't something to be afraid of. It's just part of life. It comes with it. And I think that's like a huge reminder for people who want to say that Halloween is evil. And if you do, that's your thing. Great. If that's how you feel, I do not feel that way. But yeah, that's my little reminder. Why do people think it's evil? Usually a lot of times it goes back to those slasher movie things we were talking about, and the people assuming that, the witches are out tonight. Let's be real, like real witches, that's an everyday thing, man. That's not, we don't just pop out in the dark. Everybody just like froze. Or is that Amanda?
No, I think it's just
I'm
Amanda.
here. I'm
She's
here.
Are you?
Am I good?
Your face is not.
Oh,
Your
I
face
just want
looks
the cat
real
jump up
happy.
here. Am I good now?
No.
No.
But you can still hear me?
Yeah.
I can hear you just fine.
Okay.
And if you look at her signal bar, she has no signal.
That's
Hey, we
weird.
weren't talking about the televangelist this time either, so.
So weird. Who knows? At least you can hear me. What you were saying about the light and the dark reminded me of the Dumbledore quote from Harry Potter. It's happiness can be found even in the darkest of times if one only remembers to turn on the light.
That's one of my favorite quotes. Oh, my whole computer just froze up.
That's what it made me think of.
You
Something witchy's always going on, Zach.
There's always something weird. Always.
Especially out here.
And me, I just assume it's something that's me. I don't know.
It's attracted to you, yeah.
Well, Amanda's, it's her too, but she has yet to admit that out loud, so that's fine. We won't talk about that yet.
No, I'm gonna let
But-
you come tell me about it.
Okay, I can do that. But yeah,
I
so that
know.
was,
All I know is how I feel and what's around and the things I hear, and I don't know why I hear them or see them.
we will talk about it.
Yay!
I will do the thing, and we will have a chat.
Okay.
But thank you guys for spending time with us tonight.
Yeah. It's
That
been
was
a
an
great
unsettling
time.
noise. Just, but yeah, I am excited, and I love to see pictures of costumes and stuff. If you guys want to share those, send it to us. We've got our email and stuff out there. We'd love to do a recap and be like, look what we got this week. So
Yes. We have
Absolutely.
email. Our email is the number 2 brokewitchesparanormal@gmail.com. You can also leave us a message now. How do they leave us a message now, Glenn?
Go to the link, click the site, and just start talking. Hit record, then start talking.
Okay. You have to hit record, and then it will record your message for us.
I would love to have somebody do that for us. I didn't know that was a thing you could do. So I'm kind of like
Yeah.
excited.
And it's set up so it'll go right to our email so Shay and I can hear your message.
That's right. I think it might be anonymous. I don't know. So you could get some crazy people. Just saying.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't set it up where you had to leave your name or contact information, so you can just
All
leave
right.
a random message. Enjoy.
You could get some.
God. Ugh.
Please keep it PG if possible.
Just forward those to me for my show. So
We don't need to hear anything inappropriate going on.
That's good. Remember, I said set those boundaries, guys, when you're asking for things. Oh God. Okay.
Everyone
right.
have a wonderful Halloween.
Happy Halloween. Everybody stay safe. Have fun.
Did
Give
you-
out that candy.
before we go, did you see the question from Facebook user there?
Yes, we did touch on that.
Yeah.
I think we both are in a solid agreement that that is definitely a thing based on the time of year, the veil thinning, which the veil again is basically just a boundary between our plane and the next, whatever the next might be, whatever you want to call it, between us and the past.
So, a little easier to get through.
There is a different change. There is a different type of energy that does go on around this time of year too. Also, I will say it does have to do a lot with the changing of the seasons, and we have more dark and less light, and yeah, things tend to pop up a lot more this time of year. And a lot of
Yeah,
people will tell
and
you
with
that.
the cold. I always felt there was a connection with the cold. They're
Yeah.
cold or something, like it's cold over there, so it makes it easier for them to get through when it's cold. That's just me.
You know, it would be fun to actually do some thermometer stuff during investigations, and if we can control a room with like a space heater and stuff, and see if experiences or things we could get to happen when we have it hot versus colder.
Yes.
Because I think I've had some of my best investigations when I've gone places has been when it's been like 20 degrees, you can't feel anything. You're a popsicle
Right.
by the end of the night.
Yes.
That would be fun to
Get one of
do.
those- Get one of those little thermometers where you can measure the temperature in the room. You can point it. And,
Yeah.
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 That'd be good.
We'll have to do that. I feel like there is a very strong connection with it being cold.
Food for thought.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you remember on Skinwalker Ranch, they had a whole mountain change temperature by like 20 degrees. So
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. Cold spots are a thing.
yes.
For real.
Yeah.
Like cold and hot. It's not just cold, but yeah.
Yeah.
And I wonder if the
Facebook
hot
user-
things come from somewhere else.
I don't know about that. We'll see. I guess we'll only see once. Then we can't come back and tell you. So
Maybe the hot things come from evil and the cold things come from good. I don't know.
Nope, I've had that. I've had
No?
different experiences.
Okay. Okay. We'll have to try it though and see what happens.
We can try both our methods and see what happens.
Yeah.
All right.
Ooh.
Remember to record this so I can play the video. So, Facebook user, you will be excited to know that I have a Georgia Bigfoot researcher on my Paranormal Guys show Wednesday night, 9 p.m. And we have an author following that. So we got a great show on the Paranormal Guys. Make sure that you like, follow, share, and subscribe to our channel. So you get notifications. Hit that little bell too. So Wednesdays we do the Paranormal Guys. Saturdays we do I really don't know how to describe that show. It's just a bunch of us getting crazy and talking about stupid things. So clothing is optional for the show. So you both welcome anytime. So
clothing is appreciated.
Depends.
Oh, well.
Be careful what you ask for, Glenn.
Oh, well, no, no. I have figured out how to stop getting those pictures. That was one. Well, that's not for this show, but maybe we'll talk about it another time.
Oh God.
Apparently it's easy to get boob pictures. Who knew? So
yes, everyone please go subscribe and follow. We really appreciate it. And that way if we pop up out of nowhere, you know we're there because it'll send you a notification.
There you go. If you're gonna send boob photos, just put them attention to me. I got you.
Oh my God. Good night. Happy Halloween. Everybody stay safe.
Happy Halloween, everybody.
Everybody have a great Halloween. We will see you soon next week, ladies. Hopefully you'll have the investigation. So
yeah.
Yes.
So.
I'm excited. Thanks to everybody that tuned in, joined the chat, and subscribed. Also, thanks to Ross over at Yergs Radio, yergsradio.com, for allowing us to be on the interwebs. And thanks to Rainbow Radio, too. Everybody have a great night. We'll see you. I don't know. We'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.
See, I don't hit the end button while you're doing that.